All right. Hello. Welcome back. Exciting news. We're not going to work on Jam Game on stream anymore. A Following Wind. For the VODs. For the sake of the VODs, this is a game that we were making for Ludum Dare 55. We took about 2 months off of development of our main project, our FTL-like in Godot. Codename Digital Iliad. Working title, I guess, now that it's kind of just become my channel and studio and brand name instead of a specific game's name. But yeah, we took about 2 months off after participating in the Ludum Dare 55 compo. And yeah, we made this little cute game called The Following Wind, which is just like a little endless score chaser. It doesn't want to run. It'll crash. There we go. Oh, this is new. There we go. Yeah, it's a little stupid and little score chaser about directing ships using the power of the wind. You can summon some different spells. Whirlwinds, lightning strikes, gusts of wind. And you just use the wind to control the direction of ships, move them around, try to get them toward this center temple. Trying to prevent pirate ships, which there's one here, but it's kind of hard to see because it's under the UI. But yeah, this is what we worked on for a couple of months. I'm pretty happy with what we ended up with. We just added a little cute sea monster that's looks like they're going to bed right now. But yeah, I'm kind of done working on this on stream. There's a few more things that I need to do before I can put the finished version on itch, I think. But I'm gonna do that stuff off stream. Yeah, it's been a good couple months working on this. I'm pretty happy with what we ended up with. But small game. I don't think it has legs, so I'm kind of done working on it. But this was a great, really great learning experience. It's my first like finished project in Godot. But I want to get back to the main project, what we were really trying to work on, which is an FTL-like we're making in Godot. So I'm gonna close this out. We're gonna close this scene. We're going to close the whole engine, actually, because what we want to do is we want to switch to Godot 4.3 Beta 1. We want 4.3 Beta 1 for a number of reasons. Sorry, I'm still, like, very allergic. I'm going through a little heat wave right now where I am, and it's making my allergies way worse on what has already been a pretty rough year. But there are some cool highlights. There's some breaking changes. We don't care about most of these. Like, we actually aren't going to be affected by pretty awesome things like the reverse Z. Reverse Z is pretty cool. think this is interesting, this thing about free to objects. I'm kind of interested in that. But there's some cool pixel stability issues that apparently we were running into. I'm going to open this up just to double check. There's like a setting we need to set. Oh, it relies on using the rendering 2D snap 2D transforms to pixel project settings. So let's make sure we enable this. Some interesting stuff with 2D physics, which we aren't really using. But it might help with our camera, so that's pretty cool. Parallax 2D is pretty exciting. I think we'll be using this interestingly for like space backgrounds. This is the real bread and butter here for us. This is the tile map layers as nodes. So tile map layers are now exposed as individual tile map layer nodes, which means less clutter in the inspector, a simpler API, and is also more in line with common Godot design patterns. They also added some little editor features, which is pretty cool. That's cool. There's an automatic translator or transformer that will change tile map nodes to a set of tile map layer nodes. That's interesting, but that's what we're really excited for because we were running into a lot of issues with tile map layers, especially as it related to Z indexing. I'm pretty excited. Some other cool stuff in here, but most of it doesn't apply to us. Interactive music support, I think, is pretty interesting. This is definitely something I'm interested in. I don't really use Fmod, so it'll be interesting to see how the Godot support itself works for it. Single-threaded web exports is also pretty exciting. Might end up we might end up updating our engine version for the Jam game. We want to do a web build. So yeah, kind of a slow start here. I'm kind of just interested in what's in 4.3 beta because what we really want to do is update to it. And I haven't read a lot through this. I think it mostly doesn't affect us. But I'm just double checking real quick. C# improvement is exciting. Interested in some GD script improvements. Ooh, I can finally use the is not operator. I like that. I've been wanting that for a while. I really like their plain English syntax for comparisons. For basic comparisons. Maybe an issue with preload. Keep an eye on that. Staying in new audio format. Quite okay audio. I like that. Act vector 4 array variant types. Cool. Yeah, this is good. We're grabbing this. Very excited for this. We're grabbing 4.3 beta 1, and we are going to we're going to try to update our main project here. All right, we got our new. You can't see it, but it's version 4.3 beta 1 official. Pretty sweet. Let's open this. All right, here we are. This is going to be a bit of a shock. I have not looked at this in a couple of months. Complaining about something to do with the timer not being added to a scene tree. Not sure what that's about. Yeah, we were doing a lot of crazy stuff having to deal with the different tile map layers. I'm really interested to see how this change affects us. This is how we had it before. So this is it. Oh, so this is interesting. So we actually have this two different ways. We have this version, which is one huge tile map with all these different layers. This is going to be pretty enormous to split all of this out, but I think it's going to be pretty awesome. What are these even? Okay, this is the previous format, but there's nothing in here, I don't think. Sorry, I am going to be taking sneeze breaks there. Thanks, Lucas. How's it going? Yeah, the allergies for me this year have been just the worst. The absolute worst. Okay, so we have this incredibly stacked tile map, and we need to convert it to a bunch of tile map layers. And the engine tells us it can do it for us. Extract tile map layers as individual tile map layer nodes. That's what we want. This is going to be awesome, having this feature. So we were doing a bunch of stupid stuff. We were using like tile proxies because we couldn't get the scenes to load correctly. the scene collections due to like weird issues. Maybe we actually still do need the proxies. I don't remember why we selected proxies for that. But yeah, first things first, let's just see if we can split this out into all of its yeah, extract tile map layers as individual tile map layer nodes. Love that. Now we just need to organize this. I no longer need the tile map itself, right? So let's make this a tree using, let's say something like, make a node, call it something. Let's make a 2D node, call it like deck 1. We're already calling these deck 1. Okay, let's change this a little bit. Let's say this is deck 1. Let's rename, oh, it won't let me do that. Let's say instead of decks, let's name these layers as floor. Call this floor, let's call this wall. So for each deck, we're gonna have a floor, a wall, a door, and a decoration, and a crew layer maybe. I'm kind of interested in exploring using crews as tile pieces. Kind of interested in that as a way of easily querying where the crew members are. And then deck 1 will actually just be a holder. Let's move all of these to deck 1. Yeah, okay, cool. So that should be good. Let's repeat this process for the other 5 decks. 4 decks. It's weird going back to this now. I like really haven't touched or looked at this or touched this project or looked at it in so long. No 2D. What deck 2? Yeah, this is a great change for tile map. I didn't make deck 3 yet. An interesting question is whether we further separate these by internal versus external sections. I don't know. Let's not think about that. Okay, we're totally messing up the ordering and the sorting at the moment, but that is okay. Get rid of this. I don't think we need this. We want to maybe take the numbers out of these so we can use similar. Yeah, we probably do. Floor plates. We'll change this to floor plates. Call this wall panels. Floor plates, wall panels, door, objects. You can just fold this, we'll name this decoration. Door objects, maybe, we do want doors separately. Might want to separate decoration from interactables, but maybe interactable as a type and not like a layer. Plus crew members. We're starting out with some refactoring just for the upgrade here, for the update. Operations. Crew members is one word. Love that. Probably eventually make this a scene. Not a scene, but like an inherited object. Or an inherited scene. We're not doing it like this. Not really just crew members, is it? I don't know. We'll see how many layers we end up with. The other thing I kind of want to do is I kind of want to move everything over. Right now it's centered on the origin. I don't want to move it over so that it plays nice with the UI. You can't see it because the background here is blue, which is not great, but look at our, so what is this complaining about? Oh, it doesn't need to be a tile map anymore. It can be Node 2D. Okay, so we've broken all of the things that depend on tile map, which is fine.
You really mustn't, darling.
layer count. Let's figure out where we've got the layer count here. So we define layer count here, and then what, we don't use it? Okay. Let's just get rid of that then. Got a lot of old scripts here. File system can move to the bottom of the screen now, and I'm kind of interested in that. So we have more of our scene stuff to see. Oh, I need to change my display a little bit here. Like this. It doesn't matter. All right, so we're directly calling tile map stuff on this shipboard, but that's because the shipboard owned all of this stuff before. I probably want to change the name of this. Maybe not. Board is an interesting word. And I'm not talking about the kind of board that you all probably are watching me do this. Okay. So this cutaway stuff. Let's see if we can get this working by just plugging in the correct. So at the moment, we get layer times level times layers per level. So for level, each level in the range. I guess we're referring to decks as levels. Oh, I see why I called them this, because they're all 4-letter words. Deck, hull, door, deco, crew. Kind of like that, actually. For each cell and get used cells, so the level is the levels per ship times layers per level. I see. Levels per ship is 5. Layers per level is also 5. So I think we are only doing the walls right now. If I remember correctly, that's all we're doing. What we need to do is we need to plug in at least we can just update a given layer now. Maybe not necessary. I don't think we... Yeah, this is pretty interesting. I'm going to look at the tile map layer for a moment. The brand new node, and I just want to make sure that it works the way I think it does. See if this works the same way. Seems to work pretty much exactly the same way as tile map, but I presume we just no longer include the layer value. Seems to probably be the only difference. Yeah, now we're just putting in coordinates. If we need to change the cells, we need source ID, atlas coords. Yeah, just layer. We take layer out of everything now. Okay, so I need to think about this differently. Okay. Deck layer. Yeah, we need a whole new way of thinking about this. is the old way of doing it. The new way. What we're checking here, we're getting each tile in this specific tile layer. We're comparing it plus cell.x plus level times 4. Right, because this is isometric, so the levels are creating a visual offset, which we need to account for. We're using that with level. That'll probably be the new layer. Actually, more like deck level. Oh, we'll call it this, ship level 2. I'm really curious why I was using proxies for things like doors for scene collections. I guess I should probably go watch the VOD. See what we were thinking. See what our mindset was the last time we were working on this a couple months ago. We had a reason why we had switched to... why we had switched to proxies instead of actually using the actual scene collections in the tile map. It's been long enough that I don't remember why. Didn't have anything to do with Z indexing because we were solving that by just manually. Oh no, we weren't solving that by manually splitting up the tile map, were we? That's why we were using proxies. It was just to address the Z indexing issue with scene collections on different tile map layers. But now we have a tile map layer node and we don't have to worry about it anymore. Okay, so we don't need to worry about proxies anymore, I don't think. That's good. Hey, Moth. Yeah, the FTL is back. I was this morning I was getting ready for my stream and I was like, what am I going to work on today? And there was nothing I wanted to do on stream regarding A Following Wind, our jam game. And there's definitely some stuff that needs to happen for it to be done, but I'm just going to do it over the weekends. It'll probably take the rest of the month to finish. But I'm so done working on that game on stream. I like it, I'm happy with it, but we're back. We're back to this. We're using the sick new tile map layer node. Tile map layer node, yeah. That's brand new to Godot 4.3 beta 1. Very exciting. Anyway, how's it going with you? It's been a minute. See, I summoned you back here by just mentioning FTL. Thing is, though, now layers don't exist anymore, so we're having to rethink our architecture here. I'm gonna make a new script. We're gonna detach this script and make a new script. We're gonna call it ship, not ship manager. We'll call it controller, I guess. I don't know. I like shipboard, I guess, as a name, but it's confusing. This is more like, this is just going to be the node that handles all of the interior stuff going on. So maybe we just call it ship interior. Well, it's not the interior, because this actually includes the outer hull too, doesn't it? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't have to. Maybe we'll put the exterior as a separate thing. Probably makes some sense. It's a couple of crazy days at work. I feel that. I feel that work's been pretty crazy too for me. So we'll start by calling this ship interior. In which case, we're actually going to get rid of the 5th one of these. Because the 5th one of these just forms this outer layer. Let's get rid of this one. There we go. We've got some indexing issues here. I guess these aren't... These need to be set for Y-sort enabled. Yeah, you're Y-sort enabled. You also need to be Y-sort enabled. Yeah, just changing the Y-sorting should help here. You found an employer who was trying to break the app to send money where it shouldn't. Oh my god. Bad actors, man. It's like one thing when someone is just like, it's just like incompetence and they're like breaking stuff, but people that are trying to pull a fast one, not good. No good. Okay, I like this. I like this organization already. We arguably don't need these level dividers, but I kind of think they're helpful. Because I think eventually we'll just make these be procedural. Not procedural. These will be scenes so that you can, when you're building a ship, you can have as many or as few layers as you want. As quote unquote as many, like up to 4. So I don't know. Maybe we'll hard code the levels in. We gotta rethink the outlines here. That was something I was thinking about a lot while we weren't working on this. Was that like the background of this game is gonna be black because it's space, right? And there will be stuff happening. Like we'll have maybe nebulas or planets or things going on in the background, but this stuff needs to pop against the background, and I think these black outlines are not doing it. So I think we are going to move away from using the outline, which is kind of exciting. I enjoyed not having outlines on my jam for all my ships and stuff. Gives you more pixels to work with and everything. We'll have to redraw a lot of this stuff if we go through with that. We'll be more reliant on lighting to communicate distinctions, because then we won't be able to just have like a border here. We'd have to light these differently. Which is fine. Sounds like a lot of work. It's what we signed up for. Okay, so we've got all of this drawing correctly. So we can say, you know, get that out of here, get that out of here, get that out of here. It's weird going back to a project that's like very different than my last project. In a very different state. That was the best part about having a jam game, was that the game was just playable at all times. I mean, unless I broke something, but it was like always playable after the first, you know, after the jam was actually over. And now we just have a pile of systems. Before we get too far in this, I really do want to move everything over so that it lines up with the UI window. Yeah, 2D assets are like that. Yeah, 2D assets are a lot of work. But I think we have a pretty unique perspective here, this kind of pseudo isometric side-on mix. Such that, and I'm starting to get used to working with it, so I think it'll look cool. But yeah, let's get back to the scripting. So this is our ship interior. The ship interior is going to coordinate amongst these individual levels. And it's kind of up to us the extent to which we offload the processing to a given level versus having it all concentrated in this one parent. This was all handled by one parent. You can actually say extends tile map again. Get rid of those errors. We're going to pull from this, but we're not going to directly reuse this. The first thing to get working again is the basic cutaway system. This is the point at which we do want like an input handler, I think. Let's go grab our input handler here. Oh Lord, what was all this for? Oh, this was for selecting crew members. We're gonna rename this old input handler. Make a new input handler that handles what we actually want. I use the word manager everywhere else, so maybe I should call it manager, but I like handler. Because its main job is to interpret what your hands are doing anyway. Well, I'm curious to see how much progress we're going to be able to make on this game before October. We basically have 4 months. Almost to the day, we have 4 months until the next Ludum Dare. After losing 2 months to the following wind. Okay, I've got all of this input mapping set up, which is good. Got the cutaway axes. There's 3 axes of cutaway, correct. Got cursor moves, but as joystick moves. That's interesting. All right, the point here is we need a different autoloader here. Input handler. Okay, so we have our new input handler hooked up. This is the time, this is like the only time that I wish I had script editing split window functionality. Only time. When I'm doing this kind of like refactoring where I want to look at 2 scripts side by side. So at the moment, I just need this, I think. So I was doing a lot of input handling on the ship board here, on the ship holder here. Doing it like this. Let's offload this here. Do it like this. Statically type as much of this as possible. I love seeing the little green numbers show up on the left. It's like very motivating. Gotta make those gray numbers green, yo. Right. Actually, don't know if I care about any of the rest of the old input handler at the moment. I do like this Manhattan distance function. Might use that. All right, let's close this for now. So what we're really borrowing from now is we're offloading the input processing here. All this stuff about the cutaway accumulator, cutaway coordinates. So we should do all of the force accumulation, the input force accumulation in the input handler. And then in anything that listens for that, we could do a signal, but we don't really need to do a signal. We could call down when it changes. Hey, Cubus. How's it going? How is it hanging? Let's take all of this and move this as well. The only thing we really need to keep is the accumulator and the coordinates. Nothing else needs to be scoped outside of this. We don't need to hold on to the cutaway input force, but we do want to hold on to the cutaway accumulator. XY. Is there any reason we do the cutaway accumulator Z separately? Oh, because the Z affects the XY. Let's see. Let me try to understand that a little better. Anyway, how's it going? I don't know if I asked you that yet. I'm like trying to like I'm basically what's the right word? I'm trying to like check out a different branch of my mind from like 2 months ago. I'm like, what? How was I doing this? What was I thinking? We've updated to Godot 4.3 beta 1, so we've got our sweet new tile map layer nodes. Yeah, did you not read the stream title? We're not working on a Following Wind anymore on stream. I don't have anything left that I want to do on stream. I need to do some recording of audio. You need to try to set up maybe a leaderboard and do some basic tutorialization and stuff. Like, there's definitely work left to do on the jam game, but I'm gonna have that be like the thing that I do on the weekend offline. Try to get it done by the end of the month here. Put it out. But no, yeah, we've updated our Godot engine. We are changing everything over because now we don't have a concept of tile map layers per se. But we now have an official tile map layer node, which is really cool. But I'm having to unroll a bunch of the stuff I was doing to accommodate the previous way we were working with this stuff. Yeah, refactoring is especially hard when you haven't like worked in the code for 2 months. Like the fact that the first thing that I'm doing is refactoring code that I haven't looked at is pretty rough. But yeah, all we really need to do is pull out everywhere we talk about layers, and instead of the real trick is now, instead of talking about the layers, because this was all of this like all 20 of these layers were on one tile map before, and now they're individual nodes. So now we're just pulling this all out. And I think I actually want to handle some of the code on the level on the each individual ship level. So we're defining right now. We're just pulling some of the stuff that we were handling at the level of the ship, and we're pulling it out to the input handler, which is like this accumulator. Levels per ship. Yeah, that's fine. That is a. It shouldn't be a constant. That should probably be an export variable, but we're going to make it a constant right now. Topmost level. Are we just hard coding that? Yeah, it's levels per ship -1. Reason we're not. I see why we were doing this. Why we were doing this not in the input handler. Because we need to know about the ship. We need to know more. We need more information about the ship to actually make these decisions, the way we've structured this. Because we have a cutaway amount per level. Maybe we don't want. We should probably rethink how we're structuring cutaways to an extent. Could think about going back to just having one cutaway value. Try that for now. We don't have to worry about this topmost level thing. Right now we have an extent to which we cut away from each of these individual levels, and it remembers that. So it might remember that you cut this top level off halfway, and then you go down to a different level, and this will have a different cutaway as well. I guess I do like having it remember the cutaway that you want for each given level. We still might do more of a cursor-based cutaway system, though. This is just my idea. These have been my ideas on how to do a cutaway based on joystick or mouse or keyboard controls. Might still end up going back to more of a mouse-based cutaway system. But I guess our goal should be to just... I mean, we're refactoring, so we should just get the code to work. The previous code to work using the new system. Or the new constraints that we have. Which are the individual tile map layer nodes. In which case, yeah, I do see why this was not being done at the level of the input handler. All right, for the sake of simplicity, let's keep all of this somewhere else. Let's make this an export, not a constant. Level count. Hey, Verlansky. How's it hanging? We're refactoring. We're doing the big refactor here. Also doing pretty good. We're gonna say variable, cut away, input force is input handler dot. Oh. That's good. We're back to working on our FTL-like. We updated the Godot engine, and we're refactoring it for these new nodes, these new tile map layer nodes. We also need our cutaway coordinates. Expert level. Ah. Bring all of these over here. Yeah, it's there's not much to see right now. It's kind of like this, but it's very bare bones. We've really been just trying to figure out how to structure the ship. And when we left off a couple of months ago, we had a system in place for structuring multiple levels of the ship, but it was based on this premise that this was all part of the same tile map, and they were just different layers within that. So we're refactoring it so that our cutaway system works, which is our system of like peering in to each ship. Just because this kind of side-on perspective presents a challenge for being able to see. So we've been trying out some different cutaway systems, and I'm just trying to get my latest system to work using this new paradigm here. We might not end up using this cutaway system, but I think we should see what we have before we make too many decisions about that. You might want to prototype those cutaways first, like in Figma, to see if it even makes sense. Well, we had it working before. You're probably not wrong. I don't use Figma, but you're not wrong. The issue to me is not the way the cutaways will look. The issue to me is more about usability, which is why I'm prototyping it in the engine. Because we had it working, and it just went coordinate by coordinate. So it would peel away whole layers. Not whole layers, but, it would go... It'd peel away either layers or columns of the grid, which I think is ultimately not what we want. I think what we're going to want is a cutaway system that is either looking at where your cursor is, or a cutaway system that does work by like pushing coordinates around, but it goes room by room, which means we will need to also get our flood fill working again so that we can tell which rooms are where, which is also something that we've previously had functioning that we broke because we developed it for back when we were going to do just a single layer for the whole ship before we started stacking them vertically. So, yeah, so my concern is less about the visuals and more about how it feels to use. Oh, I got the bottom of the cup like coffee grit. That's good stuff. So the inputs should all just be coming in now. This is not what's oh, this is process not ready, right? So we need to start working on this layer thing. So for layer in range, layers per level count. So first we need to iterate through the levels. So for level in range, ship level count. Here's the issue. We need to start grabbing. We need to keep track of the ship levels. Should that just be an array? Or probably interior ship levels. Array of node 2D. Music. Thank you. Okay, so we need to start grabbing. We need to decide how we're going to grab these things. So we're going through each layer. We're setting the layer modulates because that's how we're hiding. You could do this a little differently. Current level. I do kind of want to move this around a little bit. This is where I'm interested in maybe adding additional scripting down here. So we'd say something like ship level. Call it interior ship level for now. we can actually break some of this out. We need the accumulator Z. We need to know whether we're switching layers up top here. We're at what current level? So we could call in, we could call down. So let's do that. So we're gonna say interior ship levels. We'll have this array. We'll have this node. So we'll say we're level in get children. When we get children, how do we iterate through them? We get the topmost one first, right? So it should replicate this order. I feel like I've done that before and it's been true. It should just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Or will it iterate through them as 4, 3, 2, 1? I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Yeah, okay, you said yep, so I assume it's the first thing that I said. Cool. That was my thought, but I tend to get burned when I assume how iterators work. Okay, top to bottom is good. So we'll just add them to the interior ship levels array. Start with that. Interior ship level. Let's add a function that we can call. Let's say is topmost level. I don't know. We might not need a bool. Let's just not assume we need a bool to start. Let's start with a function. And we'll say set as topmost level. Void, and we can add the logic in here of what happens when we have been set as the topmost level. I guess we do want a is topmost level. Cool. Do more than just this, I think, maybe. Let's see. Add more of these scripts here. Not gonna make the mistake. Almost impulsively drank my coffee again, even though I'm pretty sure they're just grinds left. So this stuff is the stuff that I want to move down. So what I even this stuff. I want to just say the current level is not equal to the topmost level. So if the topmost level has changed, we don't even want to do this part. we just want to get the topmost level. So ship interior ship levels, current level dot set as topmost level function. Topmost level is now current level. That's it. That's it for there, for this part right now. This stuff is all going to get moved. Trying to split this up as much as possible now. Interior chunk. We'll say if is topmost level. Do all this stuff. Then we're going to grab the old code here. Grab all the stuff here that handled coordinates and everything. Grab all of this. Throw this down at the individual level. But that doesn't work. Indent all of this. I need to make a bunch of variables here. Variable cutaway accumulator. Vector 2. Call it XY. Actually, I guess we want to reset the cutaway accumulator. Equals 2.0. Or actually, no, we want to remember whatever it was. Whatever it was, we want to remember it. Same deal with cutaway coordinates. Variable cutaway coordinates. To I. Variable cutaway input force is input handler. Cutaway input force. Cutaway minimum per level. So we actually don't need this per. We just need this for. Say cutaway minimum vector 2 I cutaway maximum vector 2I. Get this per level indexing out of the way because we're no longer going to be doing that. No longer so long that I feel like I need to break it up across so many levels. All right, so for layer, this we still need to do. This we want a dictionary for, I think. We actually want 5 dictionaries for this. But we don't need to sort them by level. Just be deck tiles. I like doing it this way because we're going to split the logic out to each individual deck. And then we'll just need to manage the transitions between them. Like when people switch from one level to another level, which will probably only happen by usually like turbo lifts, things like that. I guess people could theoretically like fall through a hole in the ground, and there could be some weird cases like that, but we could actually just make this a setter function, huh? Instead of having a function that's getting called. That would be, you would get is topmost level. Set. How do I always forget the syntax for this? There we go. If value so if we're setting the value, and we can say if the value is true, we can do something. We can say, also say else. If it's not, we can do something. I don't know if we need to define the get if we're not going to do anything fancy with it. Let's do it there, just because that's maybe dumb, but I think it's better than just having separate functions. In which case we want to change it here to say dot is topmost level. We'll say interior ship levels topmost level. False. What do we call this? Ship level count. Is topmost level. It's true. Topmost level. Okay, so now we initialize them. We can tell them whether they're the topmost level or not. If they're not the topmost level, we're going to just hide. If they're, what's the right word? If they are above the topmost level, which is really unintuitive. I don't love that. Maybe I need to change topmost level. What I mean by topmost level is like the most visible level. The highest visible level. But I'm currently calling it topmost level, which is weird because I think it's fine. It'll be fine. So if this is true, set our own visibility. Let's say visible equals true. Otherwise, we'll say visible equals false. Actually, we could just say visible equals value. We don't even need the conditional. Is topmost level equals value. That works. So then we've tied our visibility to whether we are the topmost level. Actually, we need a little more. We need a little more intelligence than that. We need to say. We need an export variable that's our level. Export variable. Level height? I don't know. Level height is so dumb. Shift, yeah. I know. Keep it. Sometimes I don't do it. I was embarrassingly old when I learned that. Not quite today years old or whatever they say, but it wasn't that long ago. It's the problem with being self-taught. Sometimes you just accept a workflow that is like suboptimal because no one ever told you better. Right. I guess we'll just call it level height. Who cares? So we're going to say if... Oh, shoot. Maybe this does need to be a function. Because we need to scrutinize more than... So we need to not only know whether we're the highest level that's currently being rendered, we also need to know which one is. So I don't know if I can just necessarily do this with a setter and getter, which I kind of wanted to. That was kind of a cool way to do it, but I guess can I attach additional parameters to a setter? Can't even define a type. Oh, I guess the type is just this. Yeah, it seems like we cannot. Yeah. Can we add additional parameters? No. Okay, I should just break this out into a function. I was trying to have fun with it, but it doesn't seem like a good idea. Let's see. I mean, we could do it a little differently anyway. We could say we could set visibility manually, like here when we specify this, we could just change it ourselves. So we could change that, and we could say interior ship levels, topmost level. New method that is called from the setter. Yeah, the problem is we need to do it the other way, because we need to pass information from the parent to the child. Actually, no, I guess we can just query our parent. We can just query our parent. We don't actually need to pass anything. We can say if... I mean, we should save our parent, I guess. Oh, yeah, top level is a built-in field. Yeah, we should really rethink this whole topmost level nomenclature here. It's like not good. We could say highest visible. Do that. Highest visible level. Uppest stage. I like that. Mostest, bestest. So we're going to say if ship interior dot highest visible level. Basically, we're going to say if it's less than our level height. Our visibility is going to be false. You could also just flip it around and say greater than the visibility is true. Actually, we don't even need the if, huh? Let's do a ternary. Sometimes I get super obsessed with like removing conditionals. Which I know is like technically good from like a flow control standpoint, but sometimes I get a little too obsessed. equals. Actually, we don't even need a ternary. We just need the evaluation and just plug in the evaluation directly. We could also call a function here if we need to. I don't think we do. I don't think I need to specify a get either. But maybe I do. Maybe it's just it's either required. Oh, is the get supposed to be above the set? Yeah, okay. Want to do this? Don't want to do this properly. Okay, cool. We've avoided any kind of function calls or anything, and I think we're achieving what we want. So as long as the highest visible level is above or equal to our level, then we will be visible. Otherwise, we will not. And that's awesome. That's something we can do because we have this holder node that holds all of the... So we were previously doing this whole mess where we were changing the modulates for each tile map layer, which is not great. Luckily, we don't need to do that anymore. Oh god, it's 9:56 already? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go a little long today. Maybe an extra 15 minutes or something. Because I want to get through a little more of this before we call it. Probably not going to get all of the behavior working, but that's fine. We're doing this all per frame, but we could easily make it a little different and not do it per frame. So for layer and range, layers per level, set layer modulate, blah, 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 blah. Don't need to do that anymore. If topmost level is less than levels per ship -1. So if there's a level less than levels per ship minus... Okay, I see. So if we're... Same deal here, we're just making these invisible. Do not need to do this. It's like not necessary. For levels in range, levels per ship, don't need to do this per level anymore. We can take that top level off. We can shift tab like a boss. Yeah, we'll break this out of the process and make it something else. We'll have like the input handler check to see if the accumulator has gone up enough to tick over and change the coordinate. And if that happens, we'll signal, I guess. Call, something like that. All right, so we got to deal with this part. So if level is topmost level, we don't need this conditional. We're only processing this otherwise. What is this else part? So if our level is not the topmost level, oh, we're doing some cleanup. We may or may not need to do this. Okay, for tile and hull tiles, take out the tile per level part. We also can have cutaway. Variable. Cutaway tiles. Dictionary. Sorry, I'm like leaning off of camera. Forgot how tight this new camera shot is. Or framing, whatever you call it, tight the framing is. Sounds right. So whole tiles level, we don't need to refer. Why? How many layers is this dictionary? Whole tiles is a dictionary. Oh, it doesn't need to be a dictionary now. It could just be an array. Huh. Unless we need some additional information in there. The logic of this is for tile and hull tiles, if the tile x is greater than the cutaway coordinates x, or y is greater than the cutaway y, so if it should be cutaway, we need to add it to the cutaway tiles. And we need to say true. I think we have a bool there for cleanup purposes, like to confirm that we've cut it away or not. We do that separately. Else not, elif not cutaway tiles. Why do I care if it has it or doesn't have it? The result is the same. Why did I have that separately? Okay, that's kind of dumb. So we actually can skip this. But if it's not, if it shouldn't be cut away, but it's had, then okay, then we either set it to false so we process it, or we erase it. Okay, this part makes sense. This part up here makes less sense, so let's just get rid of these conditionals. If I get rid of, I'm going to comment them out for now, because I feel like I must have had a reason for that, put them there. Tile X, tile Y, 1. What is the 1 for? Raising more questions than answers. This is going to be... We're going to extend tile map. Oh, not tile map layer. Let's see. All right, let's look at some of the used runtime, tile runtime data. Layer, integer, coordinates. So I don't need to pass in a layer anymore. This is the wrong doc. The tile map doc. If we look at the tile map layer doc, we no longer need to do that. Use tile data runtime update. Maybe we could do it in a dictionary. We could specify if they're decks, hulls, or what kind of tile they are. Okay. Instead of just doing as an array. Yeah, there's a lot to this refactoring. Let's just focus on this part first. Getting these two here. We don't need the layer anymore, we just need the chords. A relative map onto the layer. So we no longer need to relative map. I'm gonna have to think about that because we were using relative mapping to get the... I guess we do still want relative mapping, maybe. Relative mapping basically takes the absolute tile value and then compares it with the where the tile layer should be based on this stack, just so that the layers have the right names or the right coordinates. So I guess I still need some concept of layer to be able to relate these. Like having one tile that is directly below another tile match up correctly in terms of its coordinate. Or I could not do that. And I could just do that when needed, like when we're transitioning from one to another. It's interesting. It's an interesting question. I'll think about that. All right, I'll probably wrap up in a few minutes here. We'll probably need to continue this refactoring tomorrow. Sorry for kind of a boring stream. We're paying off our tech debt. Once we're done with that, I think we're going to have some interesting stuff to deal with again. Thanks, I appreciate that, Ferlansky. I am going to try to finish setting up my Discord maybe this weekend and do some other stuff. So we can start directing people there. And so that we can share our projects and keep track on what each other are working on, especially now that the Jam project is mostly going to be worked off stream. I would like somewhere to put some updates. So I'm hoping to have maybe some invite links ready soon. So yeah, I want to see what everyone else is working on. I know everyone else is doing jams and stuff too. Definitely curious. So I think that'll be cool. I'm going to try to do that. I've had a lot of planned things that I've been planning to do over the weekend, but I've mainly just been playing Valheim because their new update came out and it's been awesome. I have a small group of friends that we've been playing for years. Yeah, I'm gonna try to set it up. All right, yeah, this is fun. This was fun. I have some high hopes. I can't wait to get back to drawing the little characters and animating stuff and doing all of that. It was nice working on a different kind of art style for a second. I do think we will move away from black outlines, because if you look, nothing in this scene, like in the middle of the scenes, relies on outlines. The only things that are relying on outlines are the walls and the doors. I think we could move away from using an outline pretty easily. And I think that would be a beneficial change. We'll see. I'll think about it some more. But anyway, as always, this has been fun. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Appreciate it. Cubus, Verlansky, Enamoth, it was great to see you. I hope you have all have a great rest of your day. And yeah, we're working on this. We're working on making our FTL-like in Godot for the next 4 months till the next Ludum Dare comes around. So yeah, can't wait to see the progress we make. Yeah. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.